The bonding hall smelled like ozone and fear. Tyler stood in line with 11 other cadets, trying not to laugh at the absurdity of it all. The room was massive, cathedral-sized really, with obsidian walls that seemed to swallow sound. Overhead, floating observation platforms held clusters of alien instructors, all watching with the kind of intensity usually reserved for surgical procedures or bomb disposal. In the center of the hall, the war beast prowled. It was called a Draknir. 6 legs, each thick as a tree trunk, scales that shimmered between midnight blue and oil-slick black, a head like a sledgehammer with teeth. When it breathed, the sound echoed like distant thunder. "Stand tall," Instructor Quelix had said during the briefing. "The beast reads weakness. It reads hesitation. Those who falter will be dismissed from the program." Tyler had raised his hand. What if it just, eats somebody? Quelix's feathers had ruffled in what might have been irritation. The Draknir does not eat cadets. It simply rejects them. Right. Totally different. Now, watching the beast circle closer, Tyler was regretting the joke. The cadet at the front of the line, a Thexian with too many eyes and not enough courage, was already shaking. The Draknir approached slowly, deliberately, its massive head lowered until it was eye level with the cadet. Then it snarled. The sound was primordial, a noise that bypassed the brain entirely and spoke directly to the spine. The Thexian stumbled backward. The beast snorted and moved on. One by one, it tested them. A Krolvite warrior held her ground, arms crossed, mandibles clicking defiance. The beast circled her twice, then huffed, a sound that might have been approval, and continued. A slim Valorian cadet froze completely, trembling but rooted. The beast paused, considered, then passed him by. Most flinched. A few held steady. None impressed it enough to warrant more than a passing glance. Tyler was 9th in line. Jan, standing beside him, leaned over. 4 arms meant the Creel could fidget in ways that bordered on interpretive dance. "You doing okay?" "Define okay," Tyler whispered back. "Not passing out, not running, not visibly soiling yourself." "Then sure, peak okay." Jan's primary eyes narrowed. "You're laughing." "I laugh when I'm nervous. It's a thing. It's concerning." The beast was 3 cadets away now. 2. 1. Then it was Tyler's turn. The Draknir swung its massive head toward him, nostrils flaring. It moved closer, closer, until Tyler could see his own reflection in its dark, unblinking eyes. He yawned. He didn't mean to. It just happened. It was early, 0600 station time, and he'd stayed up late rewatching old Earth nature documentaries on his datapad. Something about wolves. He was tired. The yawn stretched wide, jaw cracking audibly in the silence. The Draknir froze. Every eye in the observation deck locked onto the scene. The air itself seemed to hold its breath. The beast stared. At Tyler. Tyler, caught mid-yawn, stared back. His eyes watered slightly. Then the Draknir lowered itself to the ground. Not a crouch, not a threat posture. It knelt. Its front legs folded. Its enormous head dipped low, and it made a sound, soft, almost querulous, that no one in that hall had ever heard a war beast make before. Tyler blinked. The silence shattered. Quelix shot upright, feathers exploding in alarm. Another instructor dropped their datapad. Somewhere in the back, someone started clicking rapidly in a language Tyler didn't recognize, but the panic was universal. Jan's 4 arms hung limp. "What did you do?" "I yawned." "War beasts don't kneel for yawning." Tyler looked down at the massive creature still prostrate before him. Tentatively, he reached out. The beast's scales were warm, smoother than he expected. It leaned into his touch. "Good, boy." Tyler tried. The Draknir rumbled. Contentment. Approval. Instructor Quelix descended from the observation deck so fast it was less flying and more controlled falling. The bird-like alien landed hard, talons scraping stone. "Separate them. Now. Immediately." 2 guards moved in, stun staffs raised. The Draknir growled. a real growl this time, defensive, and shifted to place itself between Tyler and the guards. Tyler held up his hands. Whoa, hey, it's cool. Nobody needs to. Step away from the beast, Cadet. I'm not doing anything. Step away. Tyler backed up slowly. The Draknir watched him go, head tilting, then reluctantly settled back onto the floor. Its eyes never left him. Quelix turned to the observation deck, voice shrill. Seal the recording. No one speaks of this. Dismissed. All of you. Out. The cadets scattered like startled birds. The barracks were buzzing by the time Tyler got back. Word traveled fast in a military academy, even one that sprawled across 3 orbital platforms. Especially when something impossible happened. Jan found him in their shared quarters, sitting on his bunk, staring at his hands. So, Jan said carefully. That was new. Yeah. Want to talk about it? Not really. Jan sat down on the opposite bunk, 2 arms folded, the other 2 gesturing vaguely. They're saying this is the 3rd time. Tyler looked up. 3rd? 3rd time a war beast has knelt to a human. First was 5 cycles ago. Cadet named Mitchell. They said it was a fluke, genetic anomaly in the beast, early bonding trauma, something. Reassigned both of them to separate posts. And the 2nd? 3 cycles ago. Human named O'Brien. Same thing. The beast knelt. Command labeled it a concerning anomaly, and launched a full investigation. Jan's tertiary eyes blinked. They never published the results. Tyler's stomach tightened. And now me. Now you. Jan leaned forward. Tyler, what did you do? And don't say nothing. Something happened. The beast chose you. I didn't do anything. I don't know. I wasn't scared? Everyone's scared. That's the point. Then I don't know. Tyler ran a hand through his hair. I yawned, it knelt. That's all I've got. Jan was quiet for a moment. Then, slowly, my people have a saying. The predator kneels only to a greater predator. I'm not a predator. I'm from Ohio. What's Ohio? Exactly. A soft chime interrupted them. The room's comm panel lit up, displaying a terse message in Galactic Standard. Cadet Tyler Rem. Report to Subterranean Level 9. War Council Chamber. Immediately. Jan's skin paled 3 shades. That's not good. What's Subterranean Level 9? Where they hold tribunals. Courts martial. Jan's voice dropped to a whisper. Executions. Executions? Not often, just sometimes. Tyler stood, legs suddenly unsteady. Great. Fantastic. I yawn at a lizard and now I'm on trial. It's not a lizard. It's a Draknir war beast. There's a difference. Jan. Yeah? If I don't come back, you can have my datapad. Jan's 4 arms reached out, then dropped. Don't joke. Who's joking? The descent to Subterranean Level 9 took 11 minutes. The lift was silent except for the hum of anti-grav plating. 2 guards flanked Tyler, both Vorash, reptilian, unreadable. They didn't speak. Didn't even look at him. The doors opened onto a corridor carved from black stone. The air was cold, heavy. At the end of the hall, 2 more guards stood before a massive door. They stepped aside without a word. The chamber beyond was enormous. The ceiling vanished into shadow. The floor was polished obsidian, reflecting the holograms that floated throughout the space. Star maps, fleet positions, species profiles. At the far end, a raised platform held a semicircle of figures. Generals, admirals, overseers from a dozen species. Tyler's boots echoed as he walked forward. Cadet Tyler Rem, a voice boomed, translated, modulated, emotionless. You stand before the Varathian Collective War Council. Tyler stopped at the center marker. Hi. One of the holograms flickered, a Gestalti commander, crystalline and angular. State your designation and world of origin. Cadet Tyler Rem, Earth, Sol System, Sector, I always forget. Silence. Another hologram. This one Thexian. We will ask questions. You will answer. Right. Sorry. The questions came rapid fire. What is your genetic lineage? Human? Your bloodline? Are you descended from warrior caste? I mean, my dad was in sales. Combat conditioning? Gym class? Augmentations? Just braces. Teeth thing. Fixed now. The holograms conferred among themselves, voices overlapping in a dozen languages. Tyler caught fragments. No biological enhancements. Standard neural architecture. Gravity tolerance within human norms. One of the generals leaned forward. Explain your interaction with the Draknir. I yawned. Silence. You yawned. Yeah, I was tired. It was early. And the beast knelt. Yeah. Why? I don't know. I didn't ask it to. More conferring, more overlapping voices. Tyler shifted his weight, uncomfortable under the weight of so many eyes, literal and holographic. Then the chamber doors opened again. Heavy footsteps. Clawed. Deliberate. A figure entered the chamber, and every hologram fell silent. The Beastmaster. He was Draknir himself. Same species as the war beasts, but older, scarred, walking upright on powerful hind legs. His scales were dull bronze, marked with ritual brands and battle scars. One eye was milky with age, the other burned with intelligence. He approached Tyler slowly, each step measured. Beastmaster Kreth, one of the generals said. We did not summon. I summoned myself. His voice was gravel and frost. He stopped in front of Tyler, towering over him. You are the third. Tyler swallowed. So, I've heard. Do you know what it means? That I should probably switch careers? Kreth's remaining eye narrowed. The war beasts do not kneel to strength. They do not kneel to size. They do not kneel to rank. He leaned down until his face was inches from Tyler's. They kneel to killers. Tyler's mouth went dry. I'm not... What have you killed, human? The chamber waited. Tyler's mind raced. The truth seemed inadequate, but lying felt worse. There was a wasp nest in my garage when I was 16. Silence. A wasp nest, Kreth repeated slowly. Yeah, it was like basketball-sized. My mom was allergic, so How did you destroy it? Baseball bat and a lot of screaming. Kreth stared at him. Then, impossibly, something shifted in his scarred face. Not quite a smile. Not quite a grimace. Something between respect and horror. Show me, Kreth said, and Tyler realized this wasn't over. This was just beginning. They didn't give him time to prepare. 2 guards hauled Tyler through a series of descending corridors, each one narrower and darker than the last. The air grew thick, humid. Somewhere distant, something roared. Where are we going? Tyler asked. The guards didn't answer. The corridor opened into an arena. It was ancient, older than the academy, older than the collective itself, maybe. The walls were scarred stone, gouged with claw marks. The floor was packed earth, stained dark with what Tyler really hoped was rust. Above, observation decks ringed the space in ascending tiers, already filling with spectators. Tyler spotted Jan in the 3rd tier. His roommate's 4 arms were pressed against the transparent barrier, all his eyes wide with horror. That wasn't comforting. Beastmaster Kreth stood at the arena's edge, one clawed hand resting on a control panel. Behind him, in a holding cell carved into the rock, something massive shifted in the shadows. This is your proof, Kreth announced, his voice echoing. A trial by beast. If you are what the Draknir believe you to be, the creature will submit. If not, I get eaten, Tyler finished. Essentially. Cool. Great. Love that for me. In the observation decks, alien generals leaned forward. A Thexian commander activated a recording device. A crystalline gestalty adjusted its spectral filters for optimal viewing. Kreth's claw hovered over the release mechanism. The beast has not fed in 3 days. It is motivated. Even better. Any last requests? Tyler thought about it. Can I get that in writing? The not fed in 3 days thing? For the lawsuit? Kreth's eye gleamed. Humans. Such strange creatures. He pressed the release. The holding cell opened. What emerged was called a juvenile war beast. Juvenile. As if that made it less terrifying. It was still the size of a shuttle. 6 legs, each ending in talons that gouged the stone as it moved. Scales the color of storm clouds. A head like a battering ram, jaw hanging open to reveal rows of teeth, designed by something with a cruel sense of humor. It saw Tyler. It charged. Tyler's brain, helpful as always, supplied several observations in the half-second he had to react. 1. It was fast. 2. He was slow. 3. This was a terrible idea. He dove sideways. The beast's shoulder clipped him, sent him spinning. He hit the ground hard, tasted copper, rolled to his feet, and immediately tripped over his own boots. He went down again. Face first, this time. From the observation deck, someone muttered in Galactic Standard, "Pathetic." The beast wheeled around, claws scrabbling for purchase. Its nostrils flared. It lowered its head and charged again. Tyler scrambled backward on his hands and knees, then forced himself upright. His instructor's voices echoed in his head. Assess. Adapt. Survive. The beast was fast, but it was also big. Momentum worked against it. When it turned, there was a delay, a split second where it had to shift its weight, adjust its trajectory. Half a second. Maybe less. But it was something. The beast lunged. Tyler sidestepped. Barely. Felt the wind of its passage. It skidded, claws gouging trenches, then spun back toward him. Lunge, sidestep, lunge, dodge. He wasn't running. He was watching, learning the pattern. He's analyzing it, someone whispered in the observation deck. Impossible. Humans don't have the neural processing speed. Then what is he doing? The beast charged again. This time, Tyler didn't move. The arena went silent. The beast closed the distance in 3 massive strides. 5 meters. 3. 1. Tyler stood perfectly still. The beast's jaws opened wide enough to swallow him whole. Its breath was hot, rancid, weeks of meat and rage. Tyler could see down its throat. He didn't flinch. He stared directly into its eyes. Somewhere in the observation deck, an alien commentator was speaking rapidly. Predator lock technique, but that's impossible. Humans are persistence hunters, pursuit predators. They don't have the instincts for ambush confrontation. Their biology doesn't. The beast's growl died. Not gradually. Just stopped. Like someone had cut the audio. Its eyes, yellow and slitted, fixed on Tyler's. Searching, questioning. Tyler didn't blink, didn't breathe. The beast's massive head lowered, slowly, inch by inch, confused, uncertain. Good boy, Tyler whispered. The beast's tail twitched, then, impossibly, it sat. All 6 legs folded, haunches on the ground, head tilted to one side, waiting. The arena exploded. Alien voices overlapped in a dozen languages. Shock, disbelief, outrage. Guards moved toward the arena floor, weapons raised. The Thexian commander's recording device sparked and died. And Beastmaster Kreth started laughing. It wasn't a pleasant sound. It was the laugh of someone who'd just watched their entire worldview crumble and found it hilarious. Impossible, a general breathed. We just watched it happen, another replied. Tyler, still standing in front of the now docile war beast, raised a tentative hand. So, did I pass? Kreth was still laughing. He waved away the guards. Get him out, now, before I decide to test him further. 2 guards entered the arena cautiously, giving the beast a wide berth. It watched them, but didn't move. Its eyes tracked Tyler as he was escorted out. At the exit, Tyler glanced back. The beast's tail was wagging, just slightly. They brought him back to the council chamber. The holograms were brighter now, more agitated. Generals stood where before they'd sat. Voices overlapped in heated debate. Kreth strode to the center and activated a holographic display. Earth appeared, rotating slowly. Blue, green, white. Beautiful and utterly ordinary. Let me tell you about humanity, Kreth began, his voice cutting through the noise. About what they failed to mention in their application to this academy. A new image appeared. A wolf. Teeth bared, powerful. Apex predator written into every line of its body. This is a wolf, Kreth continued. Canis lupus. Apex pack hunter of Earth's northern regions. Preys on animals many times its size, Works in coordinated groups. Bite force sufficient to crush bone. He gestured. The image shifted. The wolf was sitting. A human child's hand was buried in its fur. Both were smiling. Humans domesticated them, Kreth said flatly. Took the apex pack hunters of their world and made them pets. Silence. What? Someone whispered. Kreth pulled up more images. A house cat lounging in sunlight. A horse being ridden. A falcon perched on a gloved hand. Felines that kill for sport. Megafauna strong enough to crush them. Raptors with killing talons. Kreth's remaining eye swept the chamber. They tamed them all. General Threnix, insectoid and nervous, clicked rapidly. This is not standard prey behavior. Prey species do not. Because they are not prey. Kreth's voice was hard as stone. They are the species that made predators love them. Another image. A terrarium. Inside, a coiled snake, scales gleaming. Venomous. Beautiful. Deadly. They keep venomous creatures in their homes. For entertainment. Tyler, standing awkwardly to the side, raised his hand. I mean, dogs are really great. Silence. He lowered his hand. Kreth turned to face him fully. Do you understand what you are, human? Guy who likes animals? You are a species that does not conquer through strength. You do not dominate through size. You do not rule through fear. Kreth leaned forward. You befriend. You integrate. You make yourself indispensable. He gestured to the image of the child and the wolf. You turned your predators into your family. You made them choose you. Not through force, through connection. His voice dropped. That is what terrifies us. Not your weapons. Not your strength. The fact that you can look at a creature designed to kill you. He paused. And make it love you instead. Tyler shifted uncomfortably. I just treat them like they matter? Exactly, Kreth said softly. You see them as partners, as equals, as worthy. That is what the war beast sense. Not dominance, not submission. Recognition. The chamber was utterly silent. Then the alarm went off. Red lights flooded the chamber. A klaxon wailed, bone-deep and urgent. Holograms flickered and died, replaced by tactical displays. A mechanical voice echoed through the station. Breach detected. Outer perimeter compromised. All personnel to battle stations. This is not a drill. General Threnix's carapace went pale. That's impossible. The shields are down, another general finished, staring at the tactical display. Someone gave them the access codes. Kreth's expression went cold. Hard. He turned to Tyler. It seems your trial will have to wait. We have a real battle to fight. Tyler's heart hammered. What breached us? The tactical display zoomed in. Ships, dozens of them, sleek, black, covered in bladed armor. Krolvax raiders, Kreth said grimly. The Academy has never been attacked. The defenses are absolute. We're absolute, someone corrected. On the screens, the first explosions bloomed across the Academy's outer ring. Tyler watched the feeds. Saw cadets running. Saw structures collapsing. Saw Jan somewhere in the chaos. 4 arms flailing as he tried to help someone out of rubble. I need to get out there, Tyler said. You will stay. My friends are out there. Kreth studied him. Then, slowly, nodded. Go. Find your people. Survive. Tyler ran for the exit. Behind him, he heard Kreth murmur to the remaining generals. Let us see what else humans can do when pressed. The chamber shook. Somewhere distant, something exploded. And Tyler wondered if maybe, just maybe, befriending a war beast was about to become the least weird thing about his day. The corridors were chaos. Red emergency lights strobed through smoke. Sirens wailed in overlapping tones that made Tyler's teeth ache. Cadets ran in every direction, some toward muster points, some just running. The floor shook with each distant explosion. Tyler sprinted through it all, dodging falling debris and panicked aliens. He found Jan trying to help a Valorian cadet who'd frozen in the middle of the hallway. eyes wide with shock. "Jan!" Tyler grabbed two of his friend's forearms. "We need to move. The evacuation protocol says, forget the protocol, come on!" They ran. Behind them, a section of ceiling collapsed, showering the corridor with sparks and twisted metal. The Valorian cadet finally unfroze and bolted. "Where are we going?" Jan shouted over the alarms. "Beast pens! That's the opposite direction of safety." "I know." Another explosion. Closer this time. The wall to their left buckled inward. Through the gap, Tyler caught a glimpse of the enemy. Krolvax raiders. They looked like someone had taken a praying mantis, scaled it up to 7 feet, and given it military-grade armor and weapons. Blade-like limbs, compound eyes, mandibles that clicked with predatory efficiency. One of them spotted Tyler through the gap, raised its plasma rifle. Tyler yanked Jan around a corner as the wall exploded behind them. "They're inside the compound!" Jan's voice cracked. "How did they get through the shields?" "Someone sold us out," Tyler panted. "Had to be. Those access codes are—" The floor lurched. They both went down hard. Through the emergency lighting, Tyler saw more cadets stumbling past. A Thexian clutching an injured arm, a Creel dragging an unconscious classmate, everyone following evacuation procedure, moving toward the shelters, away from the fight. Tyler pulled himself up and went the other way. "Tyler!" Jan scrambled after him. "What are you doing?" "The war beasts are this way." "That's toward the fight." "Yeah." "Are you insane?" Tyler glanced back, still running. "Probably." They burst through a security door, already damaged, hanging at an angle, and into the beast pen complex. The specialized holding area where the Draknir war beasts were kept between training sessions. The doors were already open. All of them. "Oh no," Jan whispered. The war beasts were loose, 6 of them. Maybe more. Tyler couldn't get an accurate count through the chaos. They moved through the massive pen like living storms, scales gleaming, claws gouging the reinforced floor, roaring their confusion and rage. One slammed into a support column hard enough to crack it. Another lunged at shadows, snapping at enemies that weren't there. They were panicked, aggressive, lashing out at everything. Most cadets would have run, should have run. The smart play was to seal the pens and let the professionals handle it later. Tyler walked straight in. "What are you doing?" Jan screamed from the doorway. The nearest war beast whipped around, focused on Tyler, its lips pulled back from teeth the size of daggers. It charged. Tyler held up his hand. "Hey! Hey! Look at me!" The beast slowed, confused, its head tilted. Tyler kept his hand extended, palm out. Non-threatening. Open. "Yeah, I know. Scary, right? Everything's exploding, people are running, and nobody's telling you what's happening." The beast's snarl faded to a low growl. "But we've got bigger problems." Tyler pointed toward the sound of gunfire echoing from the northern section. "You hear that? That's not us. That's the enemy. And they're hurting people." The beast's head swiveled toward the sound. Its nostrils flared. Then it growled. Not at Tyler. At the invaders. "That's right," Tyler said softly. "They don't belong here. They're threatening the pack." The beast's posture shifted, no longer panicked, focused, purposeful. Another war beast approached from the left. Then another. They formed a loose circle around Tyler, all facing outward now, all tracking the sounds of battle. One by one, they turned toward the Krolvax. Tyler smiled. Jan, still in the doorway, all 4 arms pressed against his head in disbelief. "This is impossible." "Jan," Tyler called, "you should probably get back." "What are you going to do?" "Something incredibly stupid." He looked at the war beasts. 6 pairs of eyes looked back, waiting. "Okay," Tyler said, "let's go hunting." The Krolvax raiders had taken the eastern barracks. 12 of them, advancing in formation, sweeping rooms with military precision. They'd encountered scattered resistance, a few armed instructors, some cadets with training weapons, but nothing coordinated, nothing organized. They were soldiers. This was what they did. Then the wall exploded inward. The first war beast came through like a freight train, roaring, scattering debris. A raider turned to fire and lost his weapon arm. Another tried to run and got crushed under 6 legs worth of momentum. The second beast came from the left flank, the third from above, dropping from a shattered skylight. The Krolvax formation shattered, and Tyler came through the smoke, gesturing, whistling, directing the chaos with the kind of confidence usually reserved for people who knew what they were doing. He had no idea what he was doing, but the beasts responded anyway. A raider tried to flank left. Tyler pointed. A war beast cut it off, drove it back into the center where 2 more were waiting. Another raider aimed at Tyler. A sharp whistle. The beast to Tyler's right lunged, knocked the rifle aside, and the raider went down. They weren't just attacking. They were hunting. Coordinated. Pack tactics. The Krolvax started to retreat. More invaders poured in from the north corridor. Reinforcements, better armed, more organized. Plasma fire lit up the hallway. One blast caught a war beast in the shoulder. It roared and charged anyway. Tyler dove behind an overturned bench, heart hammering. This was too much. Too many enemies. They were going to get overwhelmed. Then Beastmaster Kreth arrived. He came with a full security detail. Armed guards, combat drones, and 3 more war beasts that he'd apparently collected on the way. His remaining eye found Tyler crouched behind cover. "I see you couldn't resist," Kreth rumbled. "They were scared," Tyler shouted over the gunfire. You made them pack," Kreth gestured. His war beasts joined the fray. Now there were 9. The Krolvax raiders, caught between the coordinated assault and Academy security, broke ranks completely. Some tried to surrender. Most just ran. Within minutes, it was over. The gunfire faded. The smoke began to clear. Tyler stood on shaking legs, covered in dust and ash, ears ringing. Around him, the war beasts settled, panting, watching, still alert, but no longer aggressive. One approached Tyler and simply flopped down beside him. 6 legs folded, head resting on the ground. Exhausted. Another joined it. Then another. Within moments, Tyler was surrounded by 6 massive predators, all lying protectively around him like the world's most terrifying security blanket. One of them licked his face. Its tongue was rough and warm and smelled like meat. Tyler laughed. He couldn't help it. The absurdity of it all. The terror. The chaos. The fact that he was sitting in rubble surrounded by apex predators who'd just saved the Academy. It was too much. He laughed until tears ran down his face. Jan approached cautiously, all 4 arms raised in surrender to the nearest beast. "Tyler?" "Yeah?" "How is this possible?" Tyler looked at the war beasts. At Kreth standing nearby, watching with that unreadable expression. At the demolished barracks and the retreating raiders. "I have no idea," he said honestly. Kreth moved closer. Spoke quietly, but not to Tyler. To the instructor beside him. "Do you see? He doesn't train them. He doesn't command them. He simply connects." "It shouldn't work," the instructor whispered back. "And yet," someone's comm device chirped. A security officer checked it, went pale, and looked at Kreth. "Sir." The battle was being recorded. Multiple feeds. Someone in the observation decks was streaming. Streaming where? Everywhere. Galactic networks, news channels, military frequencies. The officer's voice dropped. "It's already been viewed 3 million times. And climbing." Kreth's expression didn't change, but something in his posture shifted. He looked at Tyler again. This exhausted human sitting in rubble, surrounded by loyal war beasts, completely unaware of what he'd just done. "The galaxy is about to have questions," Kreth said softly. "Many, many questions." Tyler, still catching his breath, just shrugged. "Can they wait until tomorrow? I'm really tired." The war beast beside him rumbled, a sound almost like purring. And somewhere, on 100 worlds across the galaxy, military analysts were watching the footage and realizing that everything they knew about apex predators, about dominance, about the nature of pack bonding itself, was about to change. The Academy was saved. But the real chaos was just beginning. The Academy shook like it was coming apart. Red emergency lights strobed through the corridors. Sirens wailed in overlapping frequencies that made Tyler's teeth ache. Overhead, automated voices announced the breach in 14 languages simultaneously. Tyler sprinted through the chaos, boots pounding against metal floors. Behind him, Jan kept pace despite his size, forearms pumping. "Where are we going?" Jan shouted over the noise. "Beast pens!" "That's toward the fighting." "Yeah. Why would we—" An explosion tore through the wall to their left. The blast threw them both sideways. Tyler hit the floor hard, ears ringing. Through the smoking hole, he could see outside, ships descending, black and bladed, pouring soldiers onto the landing platforms. Krolvax raiders. He'd seen them in training vids. Insectoid, armored, efficient. They didn't take prisoners. "Move!" Tyler grabbed Jan and hauled him upright. They ran. Around them, alien cadets scattered. Some followed evacuation protocols, moving in orderly lines toward designated shelters. Others froze, overwhelmed. A Thexian cadet stood paralyzed in the middle of the corridor until someone physically dragged him away. Tyler and Jan reached the beast pens. The doors were open. Inside, chaos. The war beasts were loose. 6 of them, massive and panicked. Containment fields had failed in the blast. Now they prowled the space, snarling at each other, at the walls, at everything. Jan pulled up short. "No, absolutely not." Tyler walked straight in. "What are you doing?" The nearest beast whipped around, eyes wild. Its lips peeled back from teeth the size of daggers. It charged. Tyler didn't run. "Hey!" he shouted. "Hey! Look at me!" The beast skidded to a stop, snarled, confused. Tyler held out his hand, palm forward, steady. "Yeah, I know. Scary, right?" The beast's growl faltered. Tyler pointed toward the sound of weapons fire echoing from outside. "But we've got bigger problems." The beast tilted its head, looked where he was pointing, then back at Tyler. Its growl changed pitch. Lower, directed outward. "That's right," Tyler said softly. "Not us. Them." One by one, the other beasts stopped pacing, turned, focused on Tyler. He stood in the center of 6 war beasts. Any one of them could kill him without effort. Instead, they waited. Tyler smiled. "Okay, let's go introduce ourselves." The Krolvax squad never saw it coming. They'd breached the compound's eastern sector, moving in standard formation, overlapping fields of fire, coordinated advance. Elite soldiers executing a flawless infiltration. Then the war beasts hit them. 6 tons of scaled fury exploded from the beast pens. The Krolvax scattered, chittering in alarm. They raised weapons, and Tyler whistled. Sharp. 2 tones. The beasts flanked left and right, splitting the formation. Hunting pack tactics, refined over millions of years of evolution. The Krolvax fired. Energy bolts seared through the air. One beast took a hit to the shoulder, roared, kept moving. Another dodged with impossible agility for something so large. Tyler gestured. The beasts responded. Left flank, corner them. Right flank, cut off retreat. Center, hold position. It wasn't training. It was conversation. "How is this possible?" Jan shouted from behind cover. Beastmaster Kreth arrived with Academy security forces. He stopped, stared, watched Tyler coordinate 6 war beasts with nothing but gestures and confidence. "Because he doesn't see them as weapons," Kreth said quietly. "He sees them as pack." The Krolvax broke, retreated. Their disciplined formation collapsed into chaos as they fled toward their ships. The beasts pursued until Tyler whistled again. They stopped, returned. Tyler collapsed against a wall, legs shaking, adrenaline crash hitting hard. The 6 war beasts surrounded him. Protective circle. One lowered its head and licked his face. Tyler laughed, exhausted, delirious. "Good boys," he managed. "All of you, very good boys." The beasts settled around him like a living fortress. Above, in the observation platforms, recording devices captured everything. Within hours, the footage would spread across the galaxy. Humanity's secret was out.